In 2021, on June 3rd, the Miami Police Department received a report about the disappearance of renowned Dr. Mark Richards and his 75-year-old mother, Emily Richards. The report was filed by Dr. Mark's cousin, who stated that they had been missing for over 3 days and that both of their phones had been turned off during that time. The cousin explained that she had tried to contact Mark several times and had even gone to his house but received no response. His colleagues at the hospital were also alarmed by his sudden and unusual absence, especially since his personal assistant confirmed that he had scheduled appointments with patients at his private clinic, yet failed to show up or answer any calls. After receiving the report, the police obtained a search warrant for Dr. Mark's luxurious 4-story home in one of Miami's most prestigious neighborhoods. Upon arrival, officers noticed a foul odor coming from the backyard. Following the smell, they discovered bloodstains leading to a small room that was once used for house staff. When they opened the door, they found Dr. Mark Richards' body lying on the floor, his hands and feet bound, and his body positioned in a kneeling posture. Body showed signs of multiple blunt force injuries to the head, leading to severe bleeding. Due to the high temperature in the room, the body had begun decomposing. Police then moved to the first floor of the house, where they found the apartment door tightly shut, with a grocery bag containing fruit and a watermelon placed outside. Upon entering, they discovered the body of Emily Richards lying on the living room floor. Preliminary examination revealed that she had been strangled to death, as clear marks were found on her neck. Like her son, however, her body was not decomposed because the air conditioning had been running the entire time. Initial investigation, investigators began examining Dr. Mark's lifestyle to determine who might have had a motive for killing him and his mother. Mark was 43 years old, unmarried, and worked as an ear, nose, and throat specialist. He was a well-known doctor in Miami, attracting patients from across the state. Coming from a wealthy family, he lived with his mother in his lavish home. Mark had 3 siblings. His older brother, David Richards, a doctor living in the UK. His sister, Susan, who resided in Qatar and called her mother daily to check on her. His younger sister, Lisa, who had a severe dispute with him over inheritance, to the point where she was almost completely estranged from him and their mother. Circle of suspects. Investigations revealed that the house had not been forcibly entered. There were no signs of broken doors or windows, indicating that the perpetrator either had a key or obtained access in some other way. Additionally, security cameras had recorded no suspicious activity, and one of the main cameras at the entrance had been disabled. Investigators could not determine when it was tampered with. There were clear signs of theft, including the disappearance of mobile phones, cash, jewelry belonging to Emily, and most notably, Dr. Mark's brand new car, which he had purchased just weeks earlier and had not yet completed registration for. More than 200 people were questioned, including neighbors, friends, colleagues, and house staff, including the former security guard responsible for the house. The guard, an Ethiopian immigrant named Antonio, had worked for the family for 6 months but was fired due to dishonesty and misconduct. After his dismissal, he found a job at a cafe near Mark's home, giving him the opportunity to closely observe the house and plan his crime. How the crime was committed. Investigations revealed that Antonio sneaked into the backyard a few hours before Dr. Mark arrived home. When the doctor entered, Antonio struck him forcefully on the back of the head, causing him to lose balance. He then tied him up and took the house keys from his pocket before heading upstairs in search of money and valuables. During the burglary, Emily woke up and stepped out to check on the house, only to be confronted by the former guard. Without hesitation, he strangled her to death and left her body lying in the living room. Looking through the window, he noticed that Mark was regaining consciousness and trying to free himself. Antonio rushed back downstairs and struck him multiple times until he was certain of his death. He then completed the robbery, stealing jewelry, cash, and Mark's car keys. He used the stolen vehicle to flee Miami, heading to another state while using fake license plates to avoid suspicion at checkpoints. The arrest of the killer, tracking Mark's car, was challenging, but a breakthrough came when, after a week, police received a signal from his mobile phone, which had been turned off since the day of the crime. The signal originated from a remote area in Arizona. Immediately, police units moved to the location, where they found a small house that was the source of the signal. Upon raiding the premises, they arrested Antonio and his cousin, who was his accomplice in the crime. The criminals were in disbelief that they had been caught, but a simple mistake, turning on the stolen phone, led to their downfall. Waiting justice. So far, a final verdict has not been issued in the case due to Mark's siblings living abroad. They must decide whether to pursue the death penalty or another legal course of action. Crime shocked the Miami community, especially since everyone confirmed that Dr. Mark and his mother had always treated Antonio with kindness, even giving him money when he needed it. And he wished that Mark had reported him earlier when he suspected his behavior, which might have prevented this horrific tragedy. May the victims rest in peace and let justice be served.